Hey, it's me, Puppet DM, and I'm here to tell you all about the sponsors we have here at the Wandering Society. We're sponsored here by Mage Hand Press, makers of a bunch of 5th edition supplements, like the Book of Kobold or their series of new classes. And don't forget, Arcmada, the amazing sci-fi fantasy campaign setting for the world's greatest role-playing game. Be sure to check them out at store.mageandpress.com. Up next, we have Roll20. It's the platform we use here at the Wandering Society to play all of our games. It's easy to use, intuitive, and it now comes with Dark Mode. Be sure to check them out at roll20.net. We're also sponsored by our Talsorian Games. Our Talsorian Games make great RPGs, and they've been doing so since the early 90s. Check their books. They've got Cyberpunk Red, which Simon tells me has been played here extensively, Castle Falkenstein, which also has been played here, and The Witcher, which has also been. Okay, we get it! Check them out at your FLGS or online at rtalsoriangames.com. Have you ever wanted to wake up and smell the coffee? Well, now you can with this next sponsor, Found Familiar. Get yourself some damn good coffee at foundfamiliar.com and use the code on the screen to get 15% off. What do you mean I can't drink coffee? What the fuck is felt? And we couldn't end this segment without talking about our good friends at Die Hard Dice. That's right. As a Dice affiliate, we are proud to partner with Die Hard Dice to bring you only the best in shiny click-clacks. Click-clacks? What is... Ow. You can check their ever-growing collection over at dieharddice.com and use the link below to get 15% off. You're putting this all on me? I better get a cut.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Scion. I am Simon at Wandering DM. I see him pronounce I will be the fates for this show. Hi Renegade, long time no see. I am doing good, I hope you're doing good as well. And I have with me practically the entire group. D will be with us next week. Lynn will be back next week. But in the meantime, let's just introduce the 3 players we have today, refresh everyone's minds as to where we left things off, and then delve back into the action. I'll just start at the top right on the overlay, and we'll go around clockwise. So we'll begin with Renee. Hello, good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon. I am Renee Rhodes. I use she, her pronouns, and today, and for the first time in so long, I'm very grateful to be playing Morning, daughter of the Morrigan, who has recently lost all of her friends to a void that she broke through with a sword and had a great conversation with a very beautiful fawn person over tea. I don't know that everyone else is having maybe as good a time as her right now. Certainly not as easy a time.
Tea partly made from bits of herself.
Oh yes, because she's covered in leaves, like, to be clear.
Yes, no, it's not like it's not flesh tea or anything. Next,
Flesh tea.
we have Hannah. Hello.
Hi. The words flesh tea are now burned into my brain. Thank you. I'm Hannah, she, her, and in this game I'm playing Kieran Kearney, son of Loki, he, him, and Kieran's not having such a great time. He has been confronted with the grim visage of someone trying to take over his life and doing a much better job of it than he is. So things are about to go down, I think. We'll see.
And last but not least, Robert. Hello.
All right. I'm Robert, otherwise known as Hawkeye or Kentucky Hawkeye, and I am playing Finnbaro Dubda, who is the son of Ogma out of the Celtic Pantheon. We are both in character in real life, he, him, and he's feeling fairly good right now because he's just rescued Nama, his grad student, who's now been revealed to actually be his daughter, and now we're trying to find where everybody else is hiding at.
Yep. Because what happened, before our break, basically, is that our group of Scions, now demigods, after saving the Irish afterlife, and probably also the Norse afterlife, or at least helping them out greatly, because it seems that as they've learned, things are happening in other realms outside of Earth. The material world is in perhaps jeopardy. There's been a lot of things happening, but apparently so did the other overworlds. It's the name I was looking for. Over and underworlds. And so when they came back, fully demigods, they learned that Naman, Finbar's student and helper, and in reality, daughter, unbeknownst to her, has been kidnapped during the intervening year in which the Scion were away, as apparently time flows differently in the underworld. And so the group set out to find where the Mon was, managed to figure it out. It's that little flat somewhere in London, but first they went to fake Kieran's place in Sweden, sort of tried to figure out who the hell that person was that took over Kieran over the course of that year, and from there realized that Kieran was also in London with Naman and probably Professor Morgan and others. And so you basically teleported to London, found the flat, something very unassuming, something very normal, just a typical, English house. But when you went in, the inside, the interior felt off. There were walls and rooms, but it felt like an infinite corridor of rooms. And the four of you were almost immediately separated. Morning, through violence, broke through this sort of maze and ended up in the kitchen. A very normal kitchen, where like Renee said earlier, a sort of fawn person was waiting for her. Kieran, much like Finbar and Dee, heard voices. Actually, Kieran, I believe, was trying to peek through the cracks in the walls to figure out what was going on, and beyond the walls is just an endless void of darkness. Kieran entered a room where a woman, looking like his mother, was holding baby him. There was, if I recall, Dee was there, or at least a facsimile thereof, and so was the other Kieran. And things escalated. And for his part, Finbar found the room with Professor Morgan, with Naman, rescued her, and made his way out to try to find the others. And that's where we're gonna pick up today, with Professor Odupta in the hallway of the house. I just sent a quick message in chat. Robert, if you can just answer very quickly, because that part, for some reason, I didn't note down, and it seems that the answer to this question should be important. Or maybe I did, but I wrote it under Naman. Let me check.
There you go.
Okay, that's what I thought. As you walk down the hall, again, hearing voices coming from beyond the doors that are always just a tad further than you thought. Like, you hear Kieran's voice about, 5 doors down. But once you get there, it's now 5 doors down again. There's music playing, but it's always 3 doors down. Whatever you do, it's 3 doors down. They don't have any other CDs. And Naman turns to you as you're walking down the hall, and she says, I don't recognize any of this. Where are we, Professor?
We're in, but lack of a better way to explain it, it's some sort of other realm, or maybe some sort of pocket dimensional reality thing that someone has set up to keep whoever they're trying to keep away from the rest of from the over and underworlds from getting where they need and should be, including now us. So we need to find the rest of our group and a way to find a way out of this place without us going mad. I think just there must be there's got to be a way in somehow. It's just a matter of finding it without driving ourselves crazy.
Huh. That is, surreal, I guess, is the word I would be looking for.
That would be an apt description, yes.
So is this the people I was helping you find and all that? This is normal for them?
I'm not sure if it's normal or not, to be totally honest with you. I know this is where some of them have been taken away to by others, but be they gods or demigods, one or the other.
This is a little much.
Yes, don't let it, whatever you do, don't let it overwhelm you.
Yes, you're right, Professor. I mean, I've been here for a while now. It's just, I thought I would be used to it. I also thought it would just look like a flat. it doesn't.
Yeah. This is probably the way they keep people imprisoned here, by making it look like there's no way out.
Can you make intellect and occult, please?
Select and occult.
Finbar, yeah. Oh, and by the way, just a tiny reminder, the momentum pool is currently at 4, and the collateral pool is at 2. When collateral hits 10, because of the use of your casual miracles and all that, something's going to happen.
Was that a 5?
Yep, 5 successes. This is great. You... Looking at how Nemain reacts, and remembering what you know about most of the otherworldly things that you've encountered before, you know that there are certain effects that should should a mortal without any legend, be in face to face with that. Normally, it's a creature, it's a monster, and that's why most of them are, invisible to most of humanity, and it's because they cannot comprehend that this exists. A house such as this definitely would have this mind-breaking power on people without legend. Naman might be your daughter. You're fairly certain, never had her visitation because you are not yourself a god yet. But despite that, it seems that just the fact that she is your daughter, like some of your... It might be latent, it might be like sleeping, but some of your power is there. And that's basically probably the only thing that's holding her together here.
Mm-hmm.
Anything more than that, you get the feeling that it would break her. Probably not permanently, but she would be traumatized for sure. For
Right.
probably years to come. Despite how headstrong she is. Like, this is really a sort of almost magical effect. And probably why, when she wasn't with you, when they brought her in, she only saw a regular house.
Mhm.
And the others, Professor, they're the same people you were traveling with, right? In Niantic?
Yes.
Oh.
Morning, Kieran, D. Yes, the whole team. We're all here.
I've been meaning to meet them, if nothing bad happens to them.
Well, I'm fairly sure you'll get the chance to meet them all here face to face fairly soon. But our first focus now is to try to either find where they are or to find the outdoor to this place. Now, don't. It might be overwhelming for you. This is not stuff I know you're not used to dealing with stuff at this level. Just bear with me. I'll help you through it.
All right. Thank you, Professor. Yeah. So where do you think all these doors lead? And she looks at like one, and you see she's curious to open it. It's not one that you heard like Kieran Morning or Dee's voice from.
My guess is it's probably some place of holding some sort of pocket realm where they're either stashing people or they use it or they're keeping it to hold people in. I'm not there might be other people in there, or there might be stuff we don't want to deal with, or one of them may be the way out and we just don't see it or sense it at the moment. Right now, the only door that I've opened is the one that led to where you were.
You hear Professor Morgan's voice. It seems to come out of like loudspeakers. As if there were loudspeakers here. You do not see any. And there's even this sort of like the little feedback when the microphone turns on.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, "You are almost right, Finbar, as usual. The truth is, we don't know what this entire place can do. We know how to navigate our little corner of it. So, good luck, I guess."
So, as usual, you're playing with things that you don't really totally know and understand, and now you don't know how to control it either. It's good to know.
It's not a question of control, Finbar. It's a question of carving our little niche where we need it, and we did. We had our place, our doors, our rooms. We knew how to operate it. You're in your little protege there. You're heading into unknown territory. I just wanted to, as a gentleman, wish you good luck. Because you might die.
Perhaps, perhaps not, but at least I don't have to worry about my fate. I'm not reliant on someone else to do the dirty work for me.
He just like sucks his teeth and then turns off the microphone. And you've stumped him again. And he's getting increasingly annoyed. And yet, for all of the talk of him having powers and doing stuff that he talked about the other day, he's still very much human in a way.
Mhm. Don't
And
worry about him, Nama. He's a charlatan at best.
Well, I thought your feud
And
was something just academic related, Professor, but
At first it was, but it's grown. He's trying to be something he's not. And that's what makes him the most dangerous. He doesn't he's playing with toys without it's like giving someone a gun but not telling them how it works, how to properly use it. It's still a great weapon, but if you don't know how to use it properly, you can do more damage to yourself and more damage to others without even trying. And that's what he's doing right now.
that would make sense. Professor, can I ask you a question?
Ask me anything.
This Professor Morgan, he never was like you or the others, was he?
No.
But he said that he became like you. What did he mean by that?
I think, for lack of a better, trying to think of a good way to explain it, they may be like a patron to him. How familiar are you with like the RPG games, gaming and stuff like that?
Oh, not really. I mean, I played Monopoly a few times.
Okay. Well, in the role-playing stuff and all that, there are some character classes that some character classes naturally have power. Some are granted to them by a character that's referred to as a patron, and like a patron of the arts. Only this case the arts are the arcane powers. My best guess is that someone is acting as a patron for him, and maybe giving him some enough limited ability to make him feel like he's doing something. Or feel like he's got something.
So like basically like the nobility.
Kind of.
Like he's decided to live on like some rich guy's property and just, I don't know, paint stuff for him.
Kind of. Similar analogy.
Huh. I didn't know you could
That would
do
be
that.
that would be my guess. I didn't either, but
Because,
sure
you know,
it's possible.
the way I saw it is, and she gets interrupted by a noise. But in order to know what that noise is, we need to switch to Kieran for a moment. Let's rewind the clock a bit. Face to face with yourself. I believe words had you had exhausted everything that words could do. I'm gonna take your place, Kieran. And the worst part is I'm going to do everything better than you ever did.
You can certainly try.
I was just wondering, should I skin you and wear your skin as a coat?
That's disgusting.
And fake Kieran licks his lips. And you notice the tongue is clearly not yours. It's a forked tongue. Kind of like a snake's. Just a little wider. I think, as a reference, I believe it would look a lot closer to, yeah, kind of like a Komodo dragon.
Mm-hmm. Ugh. Well, there's one difference right off the bat.
And you see he sort of pauses for a second. Wait, what?
What?
What's different?
Your fucked up tongue, man. You think people aren't gonna notice? Yeah,
Nice.
that.
He starts like touching his tongue in his mouth, and he's like, "It's perfectly normal." And when he
Nah.
sticks his tongue out, you see it's a human, regular tongue.
What?
Can you make? Let's go with cunning and occult.
Okay.
Lots of occult today.
Lots of occult. 4 successes.
It might require him some degree of effort, of like constant focus on, like he needs to actively think about it. It's not the assumption of your person, or at least your shape, seems to require, to go in game terms, if you will, like concentration. Like it's not as easy as breathing for him.
Man, your illusion magic's not very good. Of everyone you could have picked, you picked a trickster god. With your subpar illusion magic.
There is nothing subpar about me.
Your whole thing, your whole costume here. How long do you think you can keep that up?
Just until I...
Until you what? He's gonna, like, shove him.
Or you don't want to do that.
Why? What you gonna do?
Because you gave the first punch. And he rears back and basically goes in for like a haymaker.
Okay. I'd like to try and dodge. What do I have to roll for dodge?
Well, it's purely your stamina is the number of successes I need to hit.
Stamina is a 2.
So I would need 2 successes. Rup, rup, rup. Cool. Mhm. Oops. Sorry, wrong command. 3 successes.
So I take a bruised.
and I have to reroll. Wait a second. That's 4 successes. 4 successes. So, yes, you're gonna take a bruise.
Do I take 2 bruised?
No, because in order to do more damage, you need to score, enough to score a critical hit. So otherwise,
Okay.
it's always 1 wound at a time.
Okay.
So you're safe on that part because I only have 1 extra success and a critical requires 4 more. So, no, I think with that extra success, what he's going to do is he's going to actually, yeah, knock you prone. Like he just reared back, punch you square in the face, like on your, let's say, like left eye.
Okay.
Right here on the side, and it sends you reeling, fall to the floor. And he laughs. He's like, "Well, here's something else that I'm better than you at. I guess I should have started with that."
Yeah, maybe. People are gonna know you're not me if you come out swinging like that. I'm a lover, not a fighter.
Oh, I can be a lover after I'm done with you.
We'll see about that one. He'll get up
Mhm.
slowly, laboriously. He's a big baby. He's gonna make a show out of it. What? Why me? Why my life, man? Do you know who my dad is? How fucking insufferable he is. If you could deal with anybody in the world, why deal with me and my dad? There are so many other Scions that you could pretend to be.
Because at least I'm doing what your da wants me to do.
And what's that supposed to mean? Now wait a minute.
He, as he says that, will pull out 2 knives. Wicked curved knives from his, like nowhere. They seem to have been in sheaths on each side of his hips. There was nothing. I mean, he looks like you. You don't have knives around your belt. Well, you probably have.
I have 1
thrust
knife.
dagger. Yeah, he's got 2, but they're not there until he grabs like at the air and pulls them out, and he shows you one of the blades of one of them. And it's written in the old Norse. Oh god, the runes. The what was it called again? What's it called again? Oh no! There was a word for it. I forgot it.
His runes.
Yeah, it's Futhark.
Okay.
Runes that you, Kieran, recognize and can read, despite them being not something you would read normally. Like, normally you would require, and you know that, like, you would require, like, Finbar's help, or D, or, because it's a language you don't know, except this strikes you, like, you recognize it, but, like, on a visceral level. It says, "To my favorite son."
Oh.
And it's signed Loki.
Oh, hurtful. Dad told me I was his favorite son.
Well, your dad's a bit of an asshole.
So you've met him, I see. Yeah.
Often.
What exactly is it that he sent you here to do? And why is me? Why not a different son? Like, I have a reputation already to uphold. Why not start over if he's trying to do something different?
What? Yeah, see, I followed you for a while, remember? Oh.
No.
Oh, no, you don't. That's
No,
true.
I don't. Who the hell are you?
Oh. Oh, yeah, you don't remember. Here, I'm going to help you. And he takes like a big, like he inhales a big breath in. And when he breathes out, there is this cloud of like coppery smoke
Mhm.
that smells of moldy wood.
Ugh. Okay.
Like rotten wood. And the moment the cloud just basically goes like around you, you know, it wafts past you basically. You don't, even if you don't breathe it in, as the cloud is around you, you begin to hear voices, to see images. Like if you were basically like John Malkoviching yourself.
Okay.
And seeing through your eyes something that you saw once before. You recognize this man as Niklaus Bergeron. He used to be a guy you ran cons with. He is that ex-contact of yours that got burnt by you, Kieran.
Shit. Nikki. I completely forgot about you. Guess you're just forgettable.
I will not anymore. Someone, and he shakes the knife, the Loki knife, at least remembered me, and figured I might not be completely useless.
You sure? Because he seems like he made you have to be me in order for you to have any value to him.
I chose you. I could choose anyone. Mind you, once you're dead, I mean, I can always fix something. And if earlier his tongue had changed, this time his eyes shift back, or shift to something else.
Mm-hmm.
Reptilian slits. Vertical.
Man.
Golden and black.
You are giving me such a bad name with all this.
I think we're done with the talking. Wouldn't
Sure.
you agree?
He'll pull out his own knife.
I think it's time for me to eat you. And he would lunge at you. And the noise that Finbar heard is the noise of steel against steel. Knife striking knife. It comes from a door to your left. However, to your right, we'll keep it vague for now because she's not here, but you hear Dee's voice. Actually, it's muffled, but it's her voice and Yoshi's. And further down the corridor, you would hear something else. But for that, we need to go back to the kitchen. With morning.
I'm just sitting at the table eating tea. Drinking
Yep.
tea.
The...
Not flush tea, to be clear.
Yeah, no. Leafy tree. Wow. Leafy tea.
Tea. We're struggling today.
Yeah. The fawn woman who introduces herself as Dusk. Because I don't think I've told you my name yet.
No, just Dusk.
Just Dusk.
That's what you said. I've asked you who you are like 20 times. 20 might be an exaggeration, but a lot.
That might have been me, Simon, out of game. Who was it, sure?
Oh.
Let's gloss over that. So what do you think is going to happen to you after the others perish in this place?
Okay, wait a second. You did not say anything about my friends dying. You only said that they need to find their way back. And they're going to find their way back because my friends are very resourceful and capable people.
Part of me hopes that it's true. But I'm getting... I'm receiving information at the moment. Things might not go so well for your friends. I knew that some of the people that lived here are a little angry.
Kieran?
Yes.
Yeah.
But that older man. Actually, the worst was probably that Japanese guy.
Yoshi?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm not scared of any of them. But of all of them, if I had to be scared of someone, it would probably be him. He's not like the others.
Are you working with them?
It's complicated.
Do you trust them?
Do you trust the others that you travel with?
Yeah. That's kind of why I'm asking.
Because one of them, as far as I know, is the literal embodiment of lies.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, he's full of shit, but like, we can rely on him.
From what I've been told, that's going to last until he finds you useful no more.
From what you've been told? By the people you're not sure you trust?
I mean, when you put it that way.
I'm not trying to come into your house and criticize and knock everything down with a big sword. And I know I did maybe a little bit try to do that. I feel like I am pretty lost and trying to grasp this situation. And it's a lot more complicated than I expected it to be. I thought this was like a straightforward rescue mission.
I figure if
And there's clearly more here. But yeah. I trust my friends. And I believe in them too. Really. You can't underestimate them. Yeah, on the surface, Kieran is a trickster person. And I think I figured out that maybe he stole a car really early on when I knew him, and like I didn't realize what was happening. But I get it better now. Maybe because I've been hanging out with him or tackling worldwide problems with him or having barbecue with him.
I don't know what this barbecue is, but
Oh, you should try it. Have you gotten to try much like human world food?
no.
I could take you to some of my favorite places. You have to try Thai. Absolutely have to try Thai.
And you see she looks down at her tea, which she hasn't touched at all. And you notice there's like almost a thin, like, crust of ice on top of it. Like, yours is steaming. Hers is like been in the wow. Words. Oof. Not the fridge. The other,
freezer?
The freezer. Wow. Oh my god.
No, it's okay.
Yes, it's as if it had been in the freezer or left outside during winter for like a few hours. At least. The liquid is not completely frozen, but there's like that little like ice sheet almost, like that tiny little like flat iceberg in the middle. It would almost look like an ice cube if it wasn't shaped like the circumference of the mug.
What does it mean?
You ask her that?
No, I'm just asking
Oh.
you. Like, is there is there any indicator as to why her tea is frozen and mine is hot?
I mean, she doesn't look like she has any control over cold, or at least visibly. The leaves on herself aren't frozen. She's not covered in like rime or snow or anything. You can make. We'll go with. Yeah, let's do another one. Intellect occult.
Alrighty. I'm so glad that other players had to roll before me, so I remembered to pull up Roll20.
Oh, yeah. We almost all forgot about it today. 2 successes.
Yes.
2 successes.
I do have a proficiency in occult related to the dead.
Oh. Then
Just as a...
roll. No, that's a bonus enhancement. So that would be 3 successes. Okay.
Mhm.
So. By virtue of your specialty, you know right now that she is dead, or undead, or something of the sort.
Mhm.
The freezing of the tea, it might be some sort of curse, like you know, you become an undead and everything you touch is ash, or something along those lines. It's something that you've heard that humans like believe in. They have folklore about it. They have pop culture about it. They have stories of these like supernatural curses, of creatures that are denied simple pleasures of life. But from what granted, what you know about human stories and folklore and all that comes from your time in the garden. So you're like limited to, Celt, Picts, and then Irish, and it remains in like northwestern Europe. But even they had like stories like that. But it felt like it was just just fanciful stories of humans telling scary stories around a campfire, because that's how they understood, or they made sense of the world, of a world that they could not understand otherwise. It feels like that, but I mean, I'll let you decide, Morning, how convinced you are of it. This is just one could be like one reason, could be one factor, but it could be something else. Dusk hasn't given you a lot. In fact, aside from she can make tea using the leaves that she has growing on her, so far her powers or her purviews, or even if she's a Scion herself, no idea.
I'll just hold my mug with like both hands and just, are you okay? You never really touched your tea.
It's not like I can. I mean, I made it as a courtesy because it would be weird if I just gave you some and you would probably think I was trying to poison you.
I wouldn't have thought that.
If I had prepared just a single mug for you, using leaves from me,
I don't know, but I don't think I would have. You didn't poison this tea, did you?
and you see her face changes to sort of sinking realization that she made a mistake. And you can see the guilt across, I mean, half of her face is hidden by this sort of like bark or wooden mask. But her expression changes as you begin to feel like a tingle in your fingers.
Oh.
Look, I didn't think it would have gone that way. I thought we would fight. That's what,
They
the others
told you.
Yeah. We would fight, and we would, I guess I would have had to overpower you or something, but I'm not a fighter. I'm a talker. And, well, when you... I mean, you did break through a wall with a sword. So
Yeah, I did.
I thought it would be my time, but then when you didn't, I thought I maybe would have had some time. Look, it's just... It's not... It's... Oh, fuck it. And she turns like a translucent green, kind of like many of the like fawn spirits that you would see in the garden, and even after you've left the garden from time to time. These like translucent, ghostly, except she doesn't assume like the form of a deer or anything like that. She just goes that way, and as she fades away completely, just says, "I'm sorry. And that fades, and the tingling has spread to your forearms. But I got a question to ask. What's your stamina?
Good question. 3 stamina. 3? 3 stamina. 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 3 stamina.
it eventually fades. The worst sensation that you have is when it reaches your elbow, it feels like you've hit your funny bone. And it lasts for a while before it dissipates completely. And using the successes you had earlier on Colt, kind of like a bit of what I explained to Finbar earlier, there are some things that lower tiered beings cannot do to higher tiered beings. The simplest example was when you all fought the Balrog, and how it had, mind you, that was mechanical, more successes on more dice to use against you.
Sure.
But in the case of some of your knacks and of your boons, like sometimes it'll say like, oh, it cannot be used against someone of a higher tier or whatever. It clearly she's not a demigod, and she probably did not think that you were one, because otherwise, unless she doesn't even know that her powers don't work that way. But the poison ran its course. You're not immune to it. It just lasted 30, 45 seconds at most. And it never hurt enough. You've suffered worse in your life.
Morning just sits there for a painfully long time, but it might just be 5 minutes, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And she blinks a little bit. She definitely teared up, though no tears ever fell, and she's not even really that sure why, because she just met this person, but feels like a deep amount of empathy and responsibility for them somehow. And so as the tingling like slowly recedes, she just moves her fingers, wiggles them a little bit, stretches her hand, and then gets up from the table, goes over to the frozen cup of tea, and goes to just put it in the microwave.
You put it in the microwave, warm it up. It becomes warm tea again. The ice, whatever it was, is gone.
I just put it back on the side of the table she was sitting at, and I hold my tea as it starts to get cold.
And that would be the noise that Finbar heard across the hall. The telltale beep of a microwave. And so, Finbar, I will ask you, which way do you go to first?
Well, and I recognize the sound of each one. That ping, it's a ping of a microwave. It's Dee's voice, and the hitting of steel against steel.
Yeah.
Okay. I grab Nama's hand and tell her, looks like we got our 3 places to go, but I have a feeling one person needs our help a little bit more than the other because he's not exactly skilled the most in what they're trying to do. And holding her hand, Nama's hand in one hand, I take the other hand and open the door to where Kieran is.
All right. When you open the door, you do not find yourself in the room that Kieran found himself in earlier. You see this room in the distance. It looks like a stage.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're walking down the aisles of a theater. You're at the very, very back of the room, right? And the stage is in the distance. The actors on it are rather small. You do not see a path to get there. It's just there's a certain area lit up by this sort of ambient light that's in all the corridors, as if there was electricity, as if there were lights in this house. And so whatever light comes in through the corridor illuminates a floor, a section of like hardwood floor. Beyond that, though, it seems that it's just a drop into infinite darkness. And there's this island, this stage, floating in the middle of nowhere, where Kieran and Kieran are fighting. So I'm just gonna go to Kieran for a sec. This is Scion, so the players play first. He punched you, drew the knives, saw the eyes shift. What do you do, Kieran?
Let me see. Am I affected by icy difficult terrain?
Not at the moment.
No, I mean in general.
Oh, in general. Unless you have something that allows you to resist it, to ignore it. I think your knife, what does it do?
It does not give me any sort of help against
Oh, no,
icy
because
difficult terrain.
It changes things to ice. Then no, you are not immune to your own
Cool.
your own powers.
Okay. I'm gonna try to use. Okay, I'm gonna use overwhelming chaos on the opponent, Kieran.
You still
It
have.
says-
Oh yeah, you still have enough legend.
I seem to have all my legend. Should I not?
No, that could be.
Okay, so I'm going to use, let me see, overwhelming chaos, imbue one legend. So I'm going to imbue one legend to do this.
Mm-hmm.
It says you overload a person's mind with concentrated entropy. A targeted character must struggle simply to maintain coherent thought. On each turn, if they wish to take an action, they must combine it with a stamina plus athletics roll at difficulty 2.
Okay.
He is not non-trivial, so he is not. That doesn't apply to him. Okay. Anyway, yes. Overwhelming chaos.
All right. So he has to on each of his turn if he wants to do something. You see him like shake his head. Try to avoid the this sort of brain fog you're causing him. Let's see.
How's
if
that concentration spell working for you?
Let's see if he does anything. Yeah, he's going to be able to act. For a second, the image shifts, like the Kieran face remains in place, but there's like a scaly snout that just like pierces through the skin before blurring back with it. I should say scaly and bony, like a lizard wearing a bone armor.
Mm-hmm.
And having shook off the effect, at least for this turn, he will jump at you and try to strike at you.
We figured out what he was back in the apartment, right? So, like, everybody is aware that he's the... Okay.
Well, I mean, unless you choose not to be.
No, we know.
But yes, I... do
Yeah,
believe
as
you all
aware
know
of
him
as
Needle.
Kieran has told us. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I got 2 successes. What was your stamina again?
My stamina is 2, but he also needs to roll an additional 2.
Oh, that's what I got. The first roll, my 3 successes, was his
Oh, okay.
stamina athletics.
Stamina plus athletics?
Yeah. He
Dang.
has the same dice pool. For both. But that means he hits with no bonus successes. Do you have... You do not wear any sort of armor, correct? You don't have any powers that give you armor.
Armor powers? No, none.
Then, as you go to like block one of his knives, he just manages to swipe at you with the other, like across the chest. It rips through your clothes. It draws blood, not a whole lot. That would be your other bruised damage. It's like little by little. I'll get you.
So when it says bruised +1, does that mean that any rolls I make have a +1 additional difficulty? Or what does that mean? Okay.
It's not cumulative though. So long as you are still in the bruised, it just means that everything is 1 harder.
Okay.
Then when you get injured. But it's not everything. Sorry, I should rephrase. It is due to the wound that you received. So your first bruise, and that's why there's a line next to it. So the first bruise would be probably like a bruised eye because he punched you in the eye.
Shiner.
The second one is
Chest.
yeah, like a gash across the chest. So if, for instance, if you were to try to make like a perception check to see something, then it would have a +1 difficulty because of Shiner. Like if you were trying to aim with a gun right now, I would say yes, it's got a +1 difficulty. But if you're just fighting in very close combat, because let's face it, that's what knife fighting is. I don't think the Shiner would give you any more difficulty.
Okay.
The gash across the chest, to my mind, is not deep enough that each and every one of your movements are rendered more difficult.
Okay.
But let's say anything that would have to do with maybe like grappling, throwing, like where you have to maintain this amount of force, let's say, on something, the gash would start to feel like you'd start to feel it. It would burn, and that would be your +1. What do you do on your turn?
I'm looking at what I have. Can I imbue a second point of legend while I'm using the first one?
Yep, so imbuing, it's as long as you have any leftover, like any free dots.
Okay. Wow, I really have nothing in athletics, huh? Well,
Remember, y'all have momentum.
That's true. That's true. I'm going to imbue 1 point of legend to cast Heaven's Fire, and I'm going to try to light him up.
All right.
So that's athletics plus
Dex.
Dexterity.
And because it is a ranged attack, there would be the +1.
With a -1.
So
oops. Ah!
That's just the 1 success. Did you want to spend momentum to try to roll more, or because you would need to have 3 successes in this case?
Yeah, no, I can't.
So
1.
summon the ball of fire. You throw it. He moves out of the way. It basically goes into the distance. Like it should have hit the wall in back of him, but it seems to just go through.
Mm-hmm.
And Finbar, from where you are, you can see the scene. Kieran throws the fire out. If I were to say in in distance, he might be like a good 20, 30 yards from you.
Okay, perfect. That's
Like-
what a thing I was going to ask because there's something I was wanting to do.
Yeah,
When
he's
it's my
definitely
turn.
within shouting distance. I'd say
Perfect.
if we were to use like the range bands of that we have in Scion,
Mhm.
he would be. Yeah, it would be short reach.
Okay, perfect. All right, there's something that Finbar would like to do. He's never done this before, but he thinks this is going to work.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to imbue 1 point of legend for enthralling performance. I'm going to start walking towards that stage, and as I do, I'm going to start singing a song that sounds like an old Irish war chant proclaiming the great abilities of Kieran defeating Nidalgar here. No one can look. When I put on performance, all affected targets in range that witness my performance cannot stop paying attention to you. If they wish to take any action, they must do it as a mixed action combined with an integrity plus resolve roll at difficulty 2. Putting on a performance is a complex action that can last multiple rounds. Basically, I'm going to do this to try to distract Kieran's
Yes.
opponent as much as possible.
So as a complex action, it means that this is the only thing you can do in your. I mean, you can move, yes,
Right.
but you cannot
I'll
do
do this
anything
as
else.
I'm moving forward. I'll do this as I'm going to. First thing I'm going to want to do is I'm going to turn around and hand the Bard's Quest cell phone to Naman. Say, hold on to this just in case, and then I'm going to walk forward, shillelagh in one hand, singing in the other as I'm slowly walking towards the stage.
Now, do these adverse effects also apply to me? Am I also distracted?
No, because he decides.
Okay.
Yeah,
Who,
I'm aiming it specifically at him.
but I believe there's a clash for it because he's not a trivial, so it would be
Presence versus legend, plus legend versus composure and legend.
okay. So you get to roll a number of dice equal to your presence and your legend,
Okay.
and he's got to roll his presence and his legend.
Presence. So I get to roll 7.
He also gets to roll 7. Oops, but he's got
And
only
these are-
one success.
E10. 7. And my target number is 8, right?
7, because you're a demigod.
Okay.
His target number is 8.
Yep, 7. All right.
Ooh.
Yep, it definitely works. And so he's part of him is being assailed by the constant wave of entropy from the chaos, and now this, and you can see that the illusion holding up begins to fade rather quickly. Nidalgar is a good maybe 10 feet tall. Lanky. A very lanky lizard. Not quite what you would think of like an Asian dragon. Think more an elongated Komodo dragon. Like normally they're short and squat. In this case, it's just compressed, and and he does essentially have pieces of himself where the scales and the flesh and the muscle tissue has fallen, and you see the bones, like he's rotting. That's gonna be another roll for him to see if he gets... Okay, wait. I need to roll for the chaos first. God damn. Chaos. 2 successes. And then the other one is composure and legend. And that he has a little less than his presence. Yeah. He... what is this? What are those lies? What is this foul song? Yet I can't take my eyes off of it.
God damn. See why you wanted to look like me? You're ugly as fuck.
You shut up. when I'm that bard is done, I'm gonna. Okay, quick question. Enthralling performance. He cannot even take another action. Fuck. That's his turn.
Yeah.
That's his whole turn. Morning. While you're in the kitchen, sitting with your mug of tea, you begin to hear Finbar sing. It's coming out of like an old radio that's on the countertop. Like near
I run over to the radio and turn it up.
There's a lot of treble, like it's almost like an old AM radio, AM station. But it's Finbar singing a song about how Kieran is the best and Kieran is going to defeat the dragon.
Dragon?
And
Oh, I am seriously missing out. Also, I do think it maybe took her a second to find the volume knob now that I think about it, because I'm not sure Morning has seen many radios.
yeah.
But, I will, like, I'm gonna pick up the radio. I don't think it ever would have occurred to Morning that she was being poisoned. I'm not sure how much she actually has in her brain. Okay, so she is looking into the radio and turning it around in her hands, trying to find Finbar in it, and starting to like move around the house with it excitedly to like see if it changes.
Because you are in a perfectly normal house.
Yes, totally.
When you leave the kitchen, I mean, you end up in a hallway that leads to the living room and the dining room and the stairs to go up the stairs. And as you move about, you can hear like the signal either becomes more distorted or becomes clearer. What's Morning's cunning?
Morning's cunning is 2.
I'll have to ask for a roll then.
Mm-hmm.
Because it might not. I mean, I think you as a player kind of figured it out. But for Morning, can you roll cunning and technology?
Sure. I have some points in technology, actually. Because as she's leveled up, she's taken some, but that's still a 0.
Do you want to roll some momentum? Otherwise, that would add 1 to the pool.
What do y'all want to do?
Go ahead.
Go for it.
Okay, I will only roll 1 though, I think.
Okay.
I don't want to spend all our momentum on this.
Sure. Okay, down to 3.
1d10. Nope.
So it'll take you longer, basically,
Okay.
to get there. I think it takes a while for Morning to figure out the fact that the closer you are to the source, the clearer the signal is.
Mm-hmm.
The farther you are. But she probably have needed to like explore the entire house before realizing it. So we're going to go back to the fight for now.
Yeah, they could do it.
Kieran, your turn.
My turn. Oh dear. Okay. Does he have scale as a dragon? Well, he has many scales, I'm sure, but
Yes.
does he have
You mean scale with a capital S?
scale with a capital S? The element of scale, yes.
To you, no.
Okay.
Like, theoretically, to a human, yes, in some aspects. So, let's say he was super strong. He would have, like, scale 1 in strength compared to a regular human.
Okay.
But because you're a demigod, you are in every aspect above him,
including speed?
including speed. Unless
Okay,
there's,
cool.
like, a power, a very specific power that is like, yeah, regardless of scale, it works.
Okay, so I'm going
the
to
thing is-
try to use Glacial Pace on him,
Okay.
which gives him a +2 difficulty to all things involving speed.
Oh god. All right. Fucking hell. Cool. Finbar, you keep singing?
I keep singing. I'm gonna keep. I'll make it easier for you, Simon. I'm gonna keep singing this song until I get to the stage and I can actually get into melee.
Okay. So that would be your second turn of singing, and then you could get to the stage.
Okay, fine.
Okay, so let's start with the chaos. He does not succeed the chaos. He does not succeed the music. And theoretically, my action, just so you all know, he was trying to run away, to get away from the noise and everything. So he would have had also like a +2 difficulty. It would have been horrible. But instead, he is just now, like, he's dropped his knives because of the actions of overwhelming chaos. He's dropped the knives and just, like, dropped down to one knee and just keep looking at Finbar. You're like, it's so beautiful. And you see, though, in his eyes, the panic. Like, it doesn't match the emotions that he's displaying. He knows you're fucking up with his mind. And he knows that he can't do anything. Basically, morning, you would get in after all of this. So, he did that. So it's going to be Kieran, Finbar, him, and then morning. Kieran.
Mm-hmm. He's dropped his knives.
Oh, he's dropped his knives. He's down to one knee. He is
Can I
enjoying
grab
the
his
song.
knives?
Absolutely. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention. You never heard Finbar sing.
I can't
before.
hear Finbar sing. Oh, okay.
No, but you've never heard it, like, in game, by the way. Finbar never burst out into song.
Mm-hmm.
In any capacity. He never did that. But because of enthralling performance, like, Finbar is
The man's got
the
pipes.
best singer in the world. It's like Pavarotti all of a sudden.
Dope.
But yes, you can
I'll go
definitely
for one of the three. In to be in character, I'll go with one of the three Irish tenors. Pick one.
This is where my lack of culture is going to show. Who are the three Irish tenors? I don't know them. I'll listen to them later. But I'll say Ronan Tynan, because because I
That
like
would be
his name.
perfect.
So
Ronan.
you, Kieran, get up to him, take the knives. One of them hurts in your hands. It
Hurts
feels
when you
like
touch?
acid.
Ooh.
If you drop it now, you're not gonna take any damage. But
No, I'm gonna keep holding on to it.
all right, it is not the knife with the quote on it.
Oh, that's fine.
It is the other one. It's just so you know that your dad doesn't necessarily hate you that much.
Oh, that would be funny.
But no,
It's like if you try and touch this, I swear to God.
it was meant for my favorite son, not the other one. No, the
You
one
can't
that you
touch this.
touch, basically, the blood vessels in your hand, like inside your hands, are exploding.
Ooh.
Yeah, it hurts. That's going to give you an injury, for sure.
Okay, so I take another injury. Now I'm up to injured.
Yeah, so basically this one
Alright.
injury, and any of the other ones would, well, mechanically everything gets the 2. But the description of this one injury, we'll call it, let's say, like, fucked up hand or whatever.
Okay.
Basically anything that you use with, you decide if it's your right or your left that you picked it up with. And anytime you want to use that hand, it's going to have a +2 for sure.
Okay, I'm gonna move that knife into my left hand because I'm stubborn and refuse to let it go. So, I'm going to try to attack with the right hand.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to use the knife that says "for my favorite son," and I'm going to try to stab him with it. So that would be close combat and dex.
To stab him with a knife,
Yes.
close combat, and ooh, normally that would be might,
Okay.
but it's a knife. You go ahead and dex.
Okay. Seriously?
Wow, what the hell?
7 dice and 0 successes. Oh, that's mean.
Your hand must be really
Guess
hurt.
what? That's a point of momentum.
Okay.
Yeah. So you walk up to a kneeling catatonic dragon and somehow miss.
Oh my god.
Just and the thing is, he would have were he not catatonic, he would have a comeback for this.
Yeah, that's canon.
But thankfully, like he wants to have a witty retort, but he can't. And you end your turn in shame. Finbar, you can either keep on playing or get up on the stage.
All right, I will get up on the stage,
Mm-hmm.
and as I hit the final note, I'm gonna take a swing,
All right, shillelagh that person.
which is might in close combat, right?
Yep. Oh wait, now you remind me of something.
What?
Does Kieran's knife have a +1?
Okay, I will wait.
Yep.
It's
gonna be
his knife, so you got to check his stats.
Oh, it's his knife. The
Yeah,
Demon
I
One
stabbed him with the knife that said "for my favorite son."
Oh, I thought it was the
the other knife that I
the
stole off
ice
of
dagger.
someone.
Yes. Okay. Then yes, there's a +1 to it.
So I automatically get 1 success?
No, you
Even though I
roll
rolled
an
a
extra
0?
die. I mean, unless you roll a bunch of 10s because of your injuries, it's not going to matter that much.
Go ahead.
Because you would need to have 2 successes. But just in case. Okay.
No, Kieran's not feeling well.
Goose egg.
All right. Then yes, Finbar, please.
All right, here we go. Might plus close combat. Boom.
But boom. Yes. Yes, 8 successes.
Successes on 7 dice.
Yeah. Because of all of the 10s you rolled. You swing. For sure you're going to injure him. The thing is compared to other creatures that you have fought before, this one actually has armor, which means that it reduces the amount of successes you have.
Okay.
By a certain amount. And I will tell you how many. Alright. His armor counts as hard. Oh, no, he doesn't even resist it. No, it just gives him more HP. So, okay, cool. So, definitely you can do 1 damage.
Okay.
And then thing is you've got 7 extra successes.
Oh, that
You can check on Roll20 in the handouts. Yeah, if you want. I mean, a crit for an additional damage would be 5, and you would still have 2 more left over.
All right, let me pull that up real quick. I think I've got that on a word sheet here somewhere. Hold on. I've got about all those lovely extra things that we can do. Now, put that here in Legend.
I mean, while you do this,
Yeah.
I'll just in case, I'll roll for the controlled chaos. The controlled overwhelming chaos. Okay, at least he'll get over the overwhelming chaos.
All right, let me.
And he will try to run away.
RPG files. Scion. Demigod notes. Here we go. Okay. Nope, that's not it either. Okay.
Kieran, the ice thing.
Mm-hmm.
Does it tell you which the +2 difficulty to which like skill specifically, or it's just
It
an
just said
overall +2 difficulty?
Anything relating to speed.
Okay.
So I assume running away relates to speed.
All right.
So is this under the? Let's see.
If you look in the handouts, it's the stunts in combat.
Stunts in combat. Okay.
I can even push it to your screen. You should see it now.
Okay. There we go.
Oh no, that's what I thought.
Yeah,
0
that's the one I
successes plus opponent's armor. So in fact, you do not have 8. You only have 5 successes.
5 successes.
Yeah.
Oh, only 5 successes.
Only 5. Okay. Well, let's see. He's trying to get away, right?
Yes, very slowly at this point.
All right. I want to put 1 into knocking him prone, so he can't get up.
Uh-huh.
And let's just go ahead. Let's see. He's already disarmed, right? He dropped his weapons.
Yeah, already.
All right, I want to put 3 into Sunder. To take out any extra effect his armor's going to get. Then I'll put 1 into
its
Faint.
scales. It's
Okay.
gonna hurt.
And then I'll put the last 1 into Faint to give Kieran an extra
An extra
enhancement
dice
on her,
for an extra enhancement. Okay, cool.
an extra enhancement for their attack.
So, yeah, when you hit him where it hurts. The swing from the shillelagh hits him straight in the ribs. As they crack, they pierce through his scales, leaving this sort of open wound that screams weak point in a Zelda game. It's apparent. And oh yeah, there's him that he can try to, but he's prone. So all he's going to do is very slowly get back on all 4, and then it would be your turn, and that's also when morning would arrive. So it's the 3 of you are now in this room. Morning, to describe very briefly what happened in the house as you're walking with the radio. You move up to the main bedroom. And the clearest area where the signal comes from is a dresser. When you open the dresser, it's got like 2 drawers at the bottom and then like doors. But when you open it, it's just like a fake dresser, like you would use like for a stage magician or whatever, with a fake panel in the back that's already open. And exactly like what happened to Finbar, you see this darkened room with a stage. And on the stage is Finbar and Kieran fighting against a sort of black dragon, which probably figures Nidog.
I burst forth and draw my sword and see my two companions and just say, I knew you were gonna be okay! And then I will lunge for the dragon because I am one track mind.
Do you have I'm wondering how fast you can move. Didn't you have a do you have a knack or a thing that lets you like walk very quickly?
I've got epic dexterity. I don't know how much that affects my speed. More so that I can just like walk across water and up walls and stuff.
Let me just check because it took 2 turns for Finbar to get there.
Yeah, I'm more than happy to take the turns if needed to get there, but that's just where I head.
Cool. Let me see. Just in case. That is defending. Okay, that's weird. Yeah, we'll say 2 turns.
Works for me.
So as you charge forth, you cover like almost half the distance, and it's either Kieran or Finbar's.
Go ahead, Kieran. Go ahead, Kieran.
All right. I'm going to try to stab that weak point.
Cool.
Finally.
Did you
Six.
include that enhancement from the
5 successes,
Thank-
and I need to roll another.
That would be 6 success because of the feint.
Yeah,
6
just
successes minus 0 because his armor is fucked up.
Yay!
So what do you do with those 6 successes?
I would like to stab him as hard as I possibly can into that weak spot that was cleared up earlier.
That's a definite 1 injury there. Do you use your so you had 6, it goes down to 3, so not enough for a crit, but you would have 2 more extra successes to do whatever you want with it.
How far can I? This is a dragon, right?
Well, a dragon, let's call it a fucked up dragon. He
Okay,
doesn't even
this-
have wings, really.
Okay. So he's a big old lizard.
Yeah.
So where is his injury?
Let's say like over here, so it would be like the bottom like 3 ribs on his right side.
Mm-hmm. How big is he? I know he's 10 feet tall.
Yeah. Oh, but he's like lank for someone who's 10 feet tall, and lanky, he's about the same width as a regular person.
So he's only like... Wait, never
Yeah.
mind.
Imagine he's a long noodle.
Okay. Could I use the momentum of driving my knife into his injury to keep pushing the knife in until I hit something between the ribs? Like, ideally the heart, but also potentially any organ that I could hit.
Yes, you can.
Okay.
That is a definite possibility. The thing is because of your not enough successes, you
Mhm.
would not hit an organ right away, because I would consider that like a critical.
Okay.
But what we can say though is because you are, arms deep in Knee Dog, we'll count that as a grapple.
Okay. Okay.
Oh no, wait. Oh, my bad. 6 minus 2 because of your injury. So you had 4 successes, 1 for the damage. Let's It's
Wait,
3
which
left.
injury?
Oh, no, you're good. You're fine. My bad. You're
But
fine.
my left hand is injured, and then I'm stabbing with my right.
Yes, it's just because I said would consider that a grapple,
Okay.
and so remember earlier I said because of your gashed, your open like slashed chest,
Right.
grappling would be, but that's fine because you have enough successes for that anyway. It just means that he would need to roll 1 success to escape,
Okay.
which kind of makes sense. You're wounded and you only got 1 arm inside.
Right. Okay.
But still, you are holding him in place right now. You are
Mhm.
effectively grappling him. What happens to Finbar?
Finbar sees the knife dug into him, right?
Up to
I
the
mean,
shoulder.
Or-
it's not a knife. It's an arm.
Oh,
stuck
the
in
arm's
it.
all the way in.
Like
It's,
Kieran,
I was,
yeah,
I was
Kieran
thinking,
is.
I was thinking about going railroad spike on the knife, but if it's your arm there, never mind then. Okay.
I don't know if you want to go railroad spike on
Just-
Kieran's arm.
No,
Just
no, I don't want to
swinging
do
it in Karen's back.
All right. Finbar's just going to go ahead and take a regular swing then. All right, let me get my page back up here. Lost it all of a sudden. Okay, here we go. Once more, with feeling.
That hurts. That's another wound.
Okay.
Technically, if you use, no, he's got 3, 4. Yeah, if you crit, like if you use the 4 of those 6 successes to deal an additional injury,
Mm-hmm.
he
That's what I was
would
considering.
be pretty much at like 1 HP.
Damn.
Okay. Yeah, I was wanting to go ahead and do that if I could.
All right, it's just massive blow to the spine. Just bam! His legs almost give out from under him. He whispers a raspy, "Let me go."
You had your chance.
You took
I
my
need to roll
daughter.
control chaos.
You've
to say-
lost.
Huh?
You took my daughter. You lose all mercy. You get only justice.
You took your wall now.
Oh, how loud did you say that, Finbar?
Probably loud, just loud enough for Kieran to hear it.
Let me go ahead and roll a thing. If I roll 4 successes, Naman will have heard.
Well, I think she heard it before when we were with the professor.
That's true. You blurted
his
it out.
Yeah, he said it too.
Yeah, I think at this point, the reality of it is starting to set in
Mm-hmm.
into Naman.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people have been saying it, and well, for her part, I mean, the thing about Nidog and everything, like that's too much for Naman, and that's why she's not helping in combat.
Mm-hmm.
All of her efforts are there to maintain just her sanity. He failed at the overwhelming chaos. And so he's only going to say in a raspy whisper, "I just wanted to live." And it's y'all's turn.
Go for it, Kieran.
He has 1 hit point left.
Mm-hmm. And Morning's rushing to the stage. You've got your arm like elbow deep inside his gut. And Finbar just broke his spine with a baseball bat.
Oh man.
I know what you want to do. Do it.
Okay, can I reach his organs?
I mean, you're still gonna have to make a roll.
Oh,
But depending on
Okay.
those successes, in this case, you would only need 1 success. And yes, because you've been going up there.
mm-hmm. 3 successes.
Will that do it?
Yeah.
I rip out his heart.
Yeah, I knew it. I knew you were going for that.
Yeah, there's a sickening, like, as you tear the heart from all the arteries. As you pull it out, it does not look like a human heart. It looks like almost like a piece of coal. And it's got now like little limp veins that just blurt out. It's red, like dark red blood, like a human would have.
Mm-hmm.
And Needhog just breathes his last as like a little puff of copper mist comes out of him for the last time. And just like what happened earlier, the mist brings with it images, sounds, which the three of you, because you are now in, like, morning just got here and got a face full of mist. So the three of you would hear and see this. Of course, Kieran, you're going to recognize the voice as that of Loki. The other two would probably not recognize the voice, but we'll see. But a voice off camera says, "If you manage to kill him, sure, you can take his place. But you'll never be my son. I want that to be clear." And the voice was speaking to, and with the images, the voice is slightly off camera, but it is speaking directly to a prostrated Needhog.
Okay.
Who seems to be at the base of like a tree.
Okay. You fucking bastard.
And that's where we're gonna end. For today.
Excellent. Excellent. Wow.
Yeah, it's so Needhog is gone. How's everyone?
Oh, doing good.
Thank you for coming, everyone.
I love being back. Yeah.
It's
It was great.
It's been a sort of strange session today. I think because it's like our first game back after like a month. I was a little oof. But yet here we are. We are back, and we'll keep being back every week until we figure out what's going on in this house and what's going on with all of you. But that's one enemy down for sure. And Kieran is now the only Kieran in the world.
The way it ought to be.
Excellent.
That said, let's do outros. Tell us who you are, where we can find you if you have anything going on in your lives, any projects that you want to shout out. We'll do the same order as we did the intro. I'll keep my spiel for last. So, morning.
Hi, I'm Renee Rhodes, she, her pronouns, and I have played Morning today, same pronouns. I had a lot of fun being back with this group after a few months. I love being able to listen to the stories that each of these characters are telling, and I miss Lynn. I can't wait to hear what's going on with Dee while all of this mess is going on. So look forward to seeing y'all again next week. I'm on Twitter at RayDeanneR, which is where I share updates and information about any projects, streams, podcasts, writing work, whatever it may be. And currently, this is the main thing I have going. But I do have a couple of projects I'm lined up, and provided health and mental health will abide by me, I'm excited to get working on them this year. So
Nice. Well, thank you for being here. And next, the only Kieran in the world.
Yeah, the only Kieran in the world. I am Hannah, she, her. And in this game, I was Kieran, he, him. And you can next find me over on High Shelf Collective on Wednesday for more Cyberpunk with Simon as the GM. Very excited about that. And then back here again on Saturday for more Scion, Birth of the New Gods. Loving this and very excited to add Needhog's heart to my inventory. That's going to be fun.
A treasured trophy.
You can find me at Handmation Art on Twitter, Handmation Studios, pretty much everywhere else on the internet. So fun, exciting stuff.
Thank you for being here. Last but not least, singer extraordinaire, Finbar.
All right, I'm Hawkeye or Kentucky Hawkeye or Kai Hawkeye. I answered to just about anything. I play Finbar, the scion of Agma and the father of Naman, as we're slowly learning about on her. You can catch me next time on my channel, Hawkeye's Old Time Gaming Emporium, here on Twitch. Monday nights is family night, where my daughter Bonnie and I are working our way through Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga, or as we like to call it, the Quest for Mouse Droid. We have found the Mouse Droid, and now we're getting ready to go into the free play mode, so we can gather all the bricks and everything, characters and everything else in there. Tuesday nights is the weekly Skyrim serial, and this week I will be starting a new character. I just finished the story of Bevset, the Glass Lass, and now we're going to be starting with an orc who finds out that who feels that the spell is mightier than the sword. So we're going to have some fun mage oriented adventures with him. And then Wednesday night you can catch me for Grappler's Keep, our WWE 2K22 universe, where a number of DMs, GMs, and RPG players from across the Twitch universe compete in a ring that we lovingly call the Dice Tray. We're working towards our next premium live event, Melee Madness, our form of the Royal Rumble, as we have new championship belts. Unfortunately, Hannah no longer has that prized piece of hardware around her waist. She lost it to Rocket Fox at the last premium live event. So, but she might get a free shot at getting the title back if she can win the Melee Madness for the women. Whoever wins those matches for the men and the women gets an automatic title shot at our biggest premium live event, Tice Mania, which will be in a couple of months from now. Otherwise, we got all sorts of big rivalries brewing up there as well. You can catch Radianne and Simon as wrestlers on that as well. Simon and I are tag team partners. Radianne's a part of the faction that's a rival to Hannah's, so having some fun with those rivalries and all that. And then otherwise, you catch me here on Saturdays. Otherwise, I'm busy either working on my homebrew project or making DM screens, or otherwise, Cancer Cleric by day and RPG Fanboy by night.
Thank you for coming, and thank you, viewers, for being here. And thank you, players, for taking time off on your Saturday to come play Scion for the 48th time today. We'll be back next week with one Lynn. I was Simon at Wandering DM. You can find me tomorrow over on Praxagorathus Mephorius channel at 8 p.m. Eastern for Witcher Roads Home. It is our last season. We are in the midst of a siege, and I have sepsis. Then on Wednesday, I'm over on High Shelf Collective, part of their Cyberpunk anthology, and I'm GMing a 10-week-long cyberpunk horror game, which has slowly begun to unveil things to players, and people have their heads missing, and people have died, and things are a little bit strange in Ascension. And then, of course, on Monday, back for Vampire the Masquerade in Montreal by Night, second season, second episode. So you can catch the rest, like all of our shows here. They're on the VOD on YouTube. But we will delve back into the nightlife of Montreal on Monday at 8:30 p.m. On that note, thank you so much for being here, and we will see you next week. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.